Hello everyone, welcome back to Stargirl Society, the podcast that inspires you to reclaim your power and start living the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Phoebe Goldsmith, and welcome. In this podcast, we talk all things mental health, becoming your best self, self-love, confidence, all of the above. So if that's something you're interested in, we'd love to have you. Be sure to subscribe or follow if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about unsexy acts of self-love because performative wellness and performative self-care is getting out of hand. I think because of social media, self-love and self-care has become more about Pilates and matcha than it has about healing yourself and your emotional well-being. It's become about making your life look like you love yourself. So today we're going to unpack this issue and I'm going to be teaching you how to implement true wellness and self-love into your life in a free, unaesthetic, unsexy way. If you like content like this, then you can follow our Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith, which is linked below. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So the issue with performative wellness. I was recently scrolling and I realized that self-love and wellness content is always portrayed in this picture perfect manner. And I'm not saying that's wrong. And I'm also not saying it's inaccurate to the way that person is living their life necessarily, but I fear that people are starting to care more about how self-love looks to others than how it feels to themselves. Self-love has become expensive, it's become capitalized, and with the goal of being aesthetic and being postable. Me personally, I've 100% made choices for my self-love in the past and then thought, oh, this also would look good on a story, or oh, this is quite like postable. But true self-love and wellness is completely free. And I want people to know that the true purpose is finding peace within, and it's not something that anyone else is ever going to see or that you feel the need for other people to know about. Most things featured in the wellness space are beneficial, but I think it's beginning to completely distract from the healing that people actually could be doing for themselves. Performative wellness is ruining your chance at healing because the moment your healing journey gets messy as because it will, and it's no longer postable or aesthetic, this performative wellness on social media is tricking our brains into thinking that that's not healing, that isn't wellness, when in matter of fact it is. The best forms of wellness are unsexy and unaesthetic. So we're going to be focusing on 5 tips today. The first tip I'm going to give you is to get off your damn phone. If you want to hear a humbling statistic, if you have 5 hours of screen time a day, that's 23 years of your life. 23 years. Getting off your phone and not scrolling is the best free thing you can do for your wellness at this current point in time. I genuinely think that right now, a powerful woman is a woman who is not addicted to scrolling and comparing herself. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Social media is designed to exploit your insecurities. People are profiting off of your insecurities on social media. Social media is made to keep you insecure. Please remember that. How ironic is it that self-love and wellness content can make us feel bad about ourselves, make us compare our lives to other people and feel bad about ourselves? You can be on your phone by all means, but stop scrolling, stop comparing. Even if you don't think it's affecting you, I promise it is. I started in 2026 to really cut down my scrolling by probably like 90%. And I've noticed the biggest difference. Overindulging in the lives of other people, random people that I've never met, never will meet, is not healthy. I stopped scrolling at the start of this year and I'm currently reading my 3rd book of the year and it's January 14th when I'm recording this. I probably read 3 books in the whole of 2025, bear in mind, and I've already started my 3rd book of this year. When you stop scrolling, you're not going to know all the trends anymore. You're not going to know all this like internet drama, and thank God you won't. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, if somebody random stopped you in the street that you didn't know and started telling you drama about people you don't know, you've never met, and you never will meet, would you listen? Absolutely not. So scroll past. I really think that if we want to have a fighting chance, especially as women, of building a life, building a level of confidence that we are proud of, we have to stop scrolling now. I think it's also about using social media to your advantage. I saw a really good TikTok that was basically saying that you shouldn't enter TikTok if your nervous system is in any other state other than peace. Because like I said, that is exactly what it's designed for. It's designed for low self-esteem. It's designed for disrupting your nervous system or for people with a disrupted nervous system. Use social media to your advantage. Tailor your For You page. Only engage with things that align with the kind of person you're trying to become. My For You page is literally just funny stuff or like edits from movies that I like and true healing and self-love content. I don't like to engage in a lot of performative stuff anymore because it's just not healthy. You might feel uncool, you might feel out of the loop, but in 10 years time, you will thank yourself. The thing is as well is I say that this is like an unsexy wellness tip, but actually, you know what I think is unsexy? When I go into a public space and every single person in there is on their phone scrolling. Like, it's terrifying. Don't let that be you. When you stop scrolling, you actually start to look at the people around you and realize how addicted every single person is to their phone. And when I did that, it actually scared me more into getting off my phone and stop scrolling at every given opportunity to open my eyes and look at what is around me for once. My second non-performative self-love tip is based around the fact that you need to aggressively heal your need to be chosen, to be wanted. I dare you to look the best you have ever looked and not take pictures, not post on social media. If you want to scare yourself and see how addicted you are to validation, you need to do that. When I've challenged myself and said, okay, maybe I just shouldn't even post that. What if I just don't even take pictures of the way I look right now? I literally feel like an addict. There's this ego response that comes within me that's like crawling, begging for me to post something and feel that dopamine hit and that rush, that validation that I look good, that my life is going well. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. Take a break from posting on Instagram. If you post, stop looking at who likes it. Stop looking at your story likes. Stop looking at who likes your post or comments on your post. You need to stop feeding your brain the idea that other people can validate you and choose you, and you need to choose yourself. When you can get back to you and validate you, that is the truest form of self-love. Posting a thirst trap with the goal of receiving attention is not self-love. You may look good. You may be able to post things when you look good and think, I look incredible, and that's great. But when the intention is for other people, it's the opposite of self-love, and you need to be able to start validating yourself. And I think that starts with not posting every single thing you do and every single time you look good or you feel like your life is aesthetic enough to prove yourself. Challenge yourself, do it as an experiment, and it will open so many doors for you in your healing and self-love journey because it shows you exactly where and from who you are seeking validation. It forces you to go inwards and look at the genuine state of your self-love and not the performative version of your self-love. With that as well, I think challenge yourself, refrain from posting whenever you're doing something wellness related, or ask yourself, if somebody said you can go on this holiday, you can go to this class, you can drink this matcha, but you cannot post it, would you do it? I'm not claiming that people that do that are unauthentic, but I just do think that the ability to post it and the aesthetic behind it gets very tied up in our natural motivation to do these things. So if you are somebody that's consistently posting aesthetic, wellnessy type stuff, every single time you go to Pilates, you'll post about it. Challenge yourself to not, and just see how your ego reacts. We cannot heal what we cannot see. I always say this, and I think it's very relevant in this situation. Give yourself the space to see what needs to be healed. Kill the urge to be chosen and learn how to choose yourself. My third tip is for you to learn to appreciate silence, for you to learn to appreciate nothing. If you cannot sit in silence with yourself and be at peace, then any other self-love, wellness content that you are consuming is not going to work. When was the last time you ate all 3 meals in your day with nothing going on in the background? No TV show, no YouTube, no TikTok, no music. Everything, including this video right now, is pointless to you if you can never be alone with yourself and your thoughts. And I do think the more you're avoiding yourself and your problems, the harder it's going to be for you to sit in silence, and the more you are going to fear it and avoid it. But facing that fear is how you are going to start to find peace and bliss in your life. I personally now eat all 3 meals in silence with no distractions. I started off with just my breakfast, which was really great for my morning sort of routine, but now I've extended it to all my meals. And the reason I do it when I'm eating is not only because it increases how grounded I am in my senses when I'm eating, and also my gratitude for the food that I have in front of me, but also it's because that means that 3 times throughout the day, at the start, the middle, and the end, I'm checking in with myself. I'm in silence with my own thoughts only, and I get such a good grasp of how I'm actually feeling about my day, what I'm doing in my day, and my life. So I would recommend that you tag silence onto a pre-existing habit. So I obviously eat 3 meals a day, so that's what I've sort of tagged it onto, because I already do that anyway. Don't try and find times in the day to just sit and stare at nothing. That's a lot harder. Pick something that you would maybe usually do with YouTube in the background. Maybe it's your skincare, brushing your teeth, even go to the toilet and just don't go on your phone. Choose something you already do, choose to do it in silence, and see how much your love for yourself and your understanding of yourself improves. My 4th tip, which was probably the most life-changing thing I have ever decided to do, especially as someone with ADHD and who struggles with their mental health, is meditation. The reason meditation is a wonderful, unsexy, unperformative tool to use for your self-love and your healing is because if you were to post about meditating, that is the complete opposite of the point of meditation. Meditation inherently is being present, being the observer, purely just being with yourself and your thoughts and the things that are going on right now. If you were to post you meditating, or if you were to set up a camera and think about doing that, you're completely taking yourself out of a meditative state. And that's why I think it's an incredible tool to move away from performative wellness. No one's really going to post themselves meditating anyway. And just trust me when I say that when you start meditating, that is when you understand what true wellness is, what true healing is. There is no better way to understand yourself, fall in love with yourself, to fall in love with life than to meditate, in my opinion. Meditation is, I think, what was originally intended as the natural state of being for humans before all of this crazy went down, and here we are in society. So I think to go back to yourself to practice meditation is to be truly human, in my opinion. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on. My last tip for today, that is probably the most important, is to make it your mission to become the messiest version of you. Allow yourself to break down. Allow yourself to fall apart. Allow yourself to not move the whole day, to ugly cry. And most importantly, let people think that you are a mess. Performative wellness on social media screws with our idea that healing is pink and aesthetic. Physical wellness is not going to heal your emotional issues. A face mask and a cute pink workout set is great, but it's not going to heal your need for validation. It's not going to heal your relationship with men. The girl who is going on the messiest healing journey, who is crying for days on end, who is sitting with her own thoughts, who is confronting her demons, is going to be doing more for her healing journey than the girls who are obsessed with this perfectionism and aesthetic that performative social media wellness has tricked us into consuming and believing. I do believe in look good, feel good, do good, but that cannot be where your wellness journey ends. Don't be afraid of the deep, dark, ugly, unsexy healing. Let me make it super clear. Take part in the clean girl aesthetic. Go to Pilates, get a matcha, post your solo date in the cafe, but just make sure that seeing that as a goal or excessively focusing on that as a form of wellness is damaging your view of healing and bettering yourself. I really hope you guys learned something today and enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow the Spotify and Apple podcast, the Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod, and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith, all linked below. Let me know your thoughts and any of your unsexy wellness tips. I love you guys so much. Thank you always for the support, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.